So speaking of mental health, I have a tweet here that touches on, once again, about the politics, about not taking it too seriously, not taking it and ruining your family life because of it. Accepting the inevitable is part of achieving better mental health. Hillary Clinton supports the oil industry. Donald Trump supports the oil industry. It was inevitable. Oil is here to stay. For now. So let's continue work on technology to counter its negative effects. For example, CO2. So, one thing I remember from back in 2015 and 2016, as a Bernie Sanders supporter, I remember being mad at Hillary Clinton because she was fracking, which is this hydraulic process of getting some of the crude oil out. Again, you can look up fracking, seek subject matter experts, but it's a process for getting oil out of the ground, I believe using water. And some people say that it can cause all kinds of problems, but at the same time it's also one of the cleaner, more efficient ways of getting fossil fuels. So I was a purist. I have a tweet coming up about purism that I'll be posting at some point soon. But I was a purist. I said, we might as well go for the whole thing. We want to solve climate change. We want to reformat our energy system. We want to do all this stuff that's going to help us in the long run. Like when I'm an old man, I want to look back and go, I made the right choice. I voted for the right people to do the right things. I want our economy to work. I want our energy to work. I want us to have jobs. Sanders has all that, and he says no fracking. We're against the Dakota Access Pipeline. We're against the Keystone XL Pipeline. And Bernie Sanders was cheated. Bernie Sanders was never going to be president. As much energy as there was for Bernie among even the mainstream Democrats. They liked him a lot. But they didn't see him as electable, partially because of how he calls himself a democratic socialist, so on and so forth. He's very old, and he's even older now in 2019 and 2020. Even older than Joe Biden, who, well, the less said about Joe Biden, the better. But if you wanted to hear more about Joe Biden, check out my video, Identity Politics Bingo, featuring Joe Biden, where I talk about the impact of identity politics on the electability of former Vice President Joe Biden. That's fun. So Hillary supported the oil industry. Donald Trump supports the oil industry. It was inevitable that oil is here to stay. So no matter what, no matter who got to the finish line, we were going to have more fossil fuels. We were going to have more of coal, whatever it is. We're looking towards the future to renewables, wind, solar. I support nuclear energy, Generation 3 and Generation 4 nuclear. Shout out to Mark Schneider on Twitter. Check him out, SubSchneider. Talking about Generation 4 nuclear, which is it's still in development, but you have nuclear power now that does not melt down and uses nuclear waste for fuel with pretty high yields, around 80 to 90%, according to some estimates. So I do support the advancement of green energy, and I consider myself to some degree to be an environmentalist, even though I don't always subscribe to the modern religion that is global warming. But it seems inevitable that the world economy, you don't want it to come crashing down. If you remove fossil fuels right now without a replacement immediately that's cost effective and efficient and is easy for third world countries to get and easy for all the countries to transfer to, if you can't put nuclear in right away, if you can't put solar in and have it be, have it yield well, yeah, you're going to need fossil fuels. You're going to need natural gas. And some people say you need coal. Coal is very dirty. I hope we can phase it out. But until it's phased out, I like to say, just go with it. And that's kind of what I'm saying here when I talk about the politics of it. If you were dead set against global warming or climate change, and then you saw Hillary Clinton, and she was supporting fossil fuels as well, and Donald Trump even more so, that's depressing. If you hang your hat on that, I actually have a video about the relationship effects of climate change and how, talk of these really important issues, these really divisive issues, can split people apart, even lovers, friends, whoever it might be. Politics can tear us limb from limb, tear us apart. So I say casual fatalism. Accepting the inevitable is part of achieving better mental health. If you can't escape it, you got to learn to live with it. So I say let's work on technology to counter its negative effects. So we have carbon capture, we have nuclear, renewables. I went through the list a little bit just now. So hopefully we can find a solution that benefits all countries to the greatest degree possible.